Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to flip through my 6-month bullet journal, the setup of which I have taken you through in another video back in August. I will provide the details of that one in the description of this video. So prepare this bullet journal flip through to be a bit different. At the end of this journaling flip through, I'm also going to share my key takeaways, my top tips from my very first 6 months of journaling and top things to keep in mind when you start your journey of journaling. Just a note before we start, I upload yummy recipes and science-based nutritional tips every week. If you're interested in this type of content, hit the like button below, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. I have been really nervous about sharing this bullet journal flip through, as it will be far from the perfect flip throughs that you probably see on other channels. On the other hand, I did get a lot of you asking me to share the ups and downs and what happens when you get demotivated, as well as how to get back to bullet journaling when you do. While taking you through my bullet journal flip through, I'm going to speak over it to explain what was happening in various sections and also what I have noticed while journaling. I have been using my bullet journal for both personal and work-related tasks, so most of the content will be blurred for privacy reasons and to protect sensitive information. However, you will be able to discern the setup despite the content being blurred. So I started journaling back in August. I did mention in the video where I shared my setup, bullet journal setup, that I set goals and systems and work on my habits throughout the year and do not start on the standard milestones periods like the new year, as I find that it does not work for me. I suppose too much pressure. So instead of setting goals for the sake of setting goals, I would set goals and system based on what I feel inspired in the year, or may not even set anything because I have already too much on my plate. When it came to choosing the journal, the right bullet journal, I chose one of Zen Art's dotted journals, as I found that it ticked so many things for me in a journal. I have also gifted one of these to a friend and she enjoys it as well. I will provide the link to the bullet journal in the description of this video. So as you can see, I took ownership of this bullet journal. The section of the index, I started using it, but then I did not need to go back or refer back for what I needed, so I actually stopped filling it around December. This was my first key section, which went bad due to the pen, so I started another one on the next page, on the very next page. The key section came in handy when I was creating my spreads, as I could easily calculate how to split my page and where to find the middle of the page. I wanted to have a lot of creative spaces, but I actually was barely drawing. So this was the first and the last pretty much time that I used 2 whole pages to draw anything. My calendar, and I had misspelled it earlier, came in handy, especially in the beginning of my journaling, and so did these events, as I would refer to them when I needed to make some notes or plans within my monthly spreads. My bucket list, as you can see, is barely filled in and not completed. I have 6 things that I wanted to accomplish. I have accomplished 33% of them. I did get my master's, yay! And I did visit the island of Thasos. However, I did not manage to get to the rest of the things. I'm keeping them and evaluating them though, and see what realistically I can achieve. My next section is my vision board. I covered a few things as I'm not 100% comfortable sharing this as it is super personal. I actually got a house that I wanted and I'm in the process of setting it up the way that both my fiance and I will want to. And I found a partner that I want to spend the rest of my life with. So yeah, some things I have manifested. I do want to reach 2 million subscribers, by the way, so will you help me? If you haven't subscribed, please do, and share these with anyone you think will find it useful, anyone that you think will enjoy my channel. At the end of my vision board, I always write or something better than that, something better than these or those, and that's because I don't want to limit what I'm going to receive, because I'm not sure what God or the universe has in store for me. This is my first monthly cover. I did not find it practical, so I changed it for the next month. My weekly spreads and my habit trackers are the ones that change from one month to another. My favorite section, though, that stayed the same throughout the months of journaling is where I write my thoughts. So at the end of each month, I have a section, like 2 pages, where I write my thoughts, like the thoughts of the month. And this came super in handy. I actually loved writing. I found it therapeutic. This is my favorite monthly cover setup. Super practical. At the beginning of each month, I mark the important dates, slightly highlight when I'm expecting my period, and then I just highlight normally when the period came. It's just to track how my cycle is going. In my previous monthly setup, I could not fit the actual words, so I would have to write everything next to the monthly calendar, which I didn't find really practical, to be honest. In September, my weekly spread had more space for notes. I love writing, keeping notes, and I missed that in the previous setup, so I ensured that I have that in this month's spread. I also experiment with different mood tracker as well to see if that would work for me. Here is my thoughts of September as well. I felt that September setup felt closer to what I needed at the time and what I wanted at the time, so I kept it similar in October as well. I was not happy with my monthly habit tracker. I wasn't inspired and I was unsure as to what I actually want to track. My monthly thought section, on the other hand, that I kept the same, because it helped me so much from so many perspectives. I wrote my worries, my achievements, my happy moments, my fears, and it felt nice actually. In November, I gave a go having my weekly spread and habit tracker on the same page. And at the end of this section, having my blank pages dedicated to my notes and then my thought tracker. It worked actually. November felt quite consistent. Also, November was a move month for us, which comes with different type of stress, and I was less strict with myself in general. December month was such a needed month. I decided to skip tracking my habits altogether, and so just kept a simple weekly spread and my notes section at the end of the weekly spreads. I also took a week of work to relax a bit. We have been renovating the house since we moved non-stop, so taking a week off and having no other house-related work made such a difference to us. At the end of December, at work, we decided to stop keeping notes and start recording tasks on paper, and we moved everything online. So my weekly spreads became much smaller, and some days I did not fill in anything, which made me think about what I actually want to use my next bullet journal for. I did not feel like tracking my habits at this point, and most pages of the month became note-taking. I kept my monthly thought section, as these and my monthly cover are my favorites. This may have resonated with some of you. Sometimes being consistent is not the easiest thing, and also we change, our life evolves, and a bullet journal should evolve with us. And that is the end of the 6-month bullet journal flip through. Now, let me share with you what I learned in the first 6 months of journaling. Top tips for journaling when using a bullet journal. Leave it flexible. And this is one of my main key takeaways. When I first created my monthly view, I wanted to fill up the whole bullet journal, as I thought that this is how it will be for the rest of the 6 months. But my bullet journal evolved and the monthly spreads changed as my needs started to change too. So my number one tip is to not rush into filling your bullet journal in advance and take it a month at a time. Start simple. It is so tempting to find the most beautiful and potentially complicated to design bullet journal and recreate it. And I have no doubt that you will be able to do it, and do it if you have the time. However, if your time is limited, it may take so much time to set it up that you may end up giving it up in the process. So instead of focusing on finding the most beautiful design, focus on creating simple spreads that you can realistically recreate easily. Keep what works. Do your research, decide on your spreads, be open enough that some elements may change, but at the same time, keep what has worked. My weekly spreads and habit trackers change from month to month, but what stayed throughout the bullet journal is my monthly covers, my end of the month thought spread, and actually I loved my vision board as well. It's a great setup. So I know that these will potentially work in the following months as well, and I'm excited to recreate them in my next bullet journal. Create a draft in pencil. Throughout the setup of my bullet journal, I first created a draft using a pencil and a ruler, and that helped avoid too many corrections. However, at some point I think I got lazy, so I started creating the spread immediately with a pen. And later I needed to change them, or I wanted to change them, but I couldn't because that would create a lot of mess. Do not compare. I have seen so many beautiful spreads and bullet journal setups that I wanted to recreate them or create something amazing or something extra. But understanding my needs and creating something tailored to me actually helped me to be more consistent. So get inspired, but personalized, tailored to your needs. Set up your environment to support your habit. Bullet journaling is a habit, so you need to support it accordingly. The easiest way to support any habit is to design your environment to support that habit. That means that if you want to journal in the morning while drinking your coffee, keep your bullet journal next to your coffee station. So as soon as you make your coffee, you also grab your journal and start filling it in. If you want to fill it in the evening, then keep it on your bedside table. If you want to use it as a notepad, then keep it on your office table so you can write things throughout the day. That's it for today. Thank you so much for staying until the end. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. See you in the next episode.